All right, so if you remember, not that long ago, we were all talking about Punisher Season 2 before it even came out. We were talking about, oh yes, the average theme of the show, once again, was putting a certain demographic of people into the villainous role, which, at this point, what do we think is going to happen? It's always, you never see anybody from, the left as being a villain in a show. It's always the right side guy. It's always the Christian dude. It's always, they always demonize those people. Could it be a far leftist villain? No. They're too pure for that. They're way too pure. So, that came out. People were talking about it. And now that the show has actually come out, no one seems to be talking about it. And why is that? Well, it turns out viewership way down, according to an analytics firm. And, I can't say if it's get woke, go broke too much, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch season 2. You know why? Because when I heard the themes of who was going to be the villain, it's like, I just don't care now. Been there, done that so many times, over and over again. It's just like, well, let's just do that. People will just eat it up. And I don't think that that's the case anymore, right? We see ratings for this kind of stuff falling. We see Marvel Comics themselves doing it all the time. Sales are down. And lately, the Netflix shows have been following that. Viewership is down. Even the movies are kind of moving in that direction now. With her, a hero, with Captain Marvel. You must love her. You will love her. And what do we see for that? We've seen a lot of backlash. Anytime you talk about stuff with Captain Marvel in a negative way, people want to hear about it, because I don't think there's any real excitement for that movie either. But Mr. The Punisher Season 2, not doing too well. This is coming out of Bounding into Comics. So we go here. Analytics firm Jump Shoot reports Punisher Season 2 viewership is down 40% compared to its first season. The company compared Season 1 and Season 2's opening weekend premieres. Not only is viewership allegedly down, but Rotten Tomatoes scores also indicate a decline in quality from the first to second season. The critics give the second season a 54% rating, and the audience is giving it a 84%. This is down from the first season, which saw critics give the show a 67%. And the audiences give it a 93. I'm surprised that the audience gave it an 84. We'll have to go check those numbers out in a second. A number of fans were specifically disappointed with Billy Russo's costume design, the series' main antagonist, and after having his face run across glass, Russo's face has only minor damage, and he wears a mask. It was watered down compared to the comic books and even Punisher Warzone, which is a very excellent comic book run. The report in declining viewership has many fearing the Punisher will get canceled, just like Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Well, that's going to happen for sure. We've already seen the writing is on the wall for the Netflix shows. There's a lot of reasons for that, which we'll get into in a second. But every show has been canceled. It's pretty obvious that Disney is going to take... They're taking everything from Netflix so that they can move it over to the Disney streaming service. Now, I really don't even think that these shows are attached to the DC or to the MCU anymore because of the old little Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige spat, which this article actually gets into quite a bit, and we'll go over that. All right, so for some reason, there's not that many written reviews for Punisher Season 2 actually on Rotten Tomatoes. It's mostly just star ratings. Very few people actually wrote out stuff. But this guy kind of sums up what we were thinking. Punisher Season 2 is all liberal. It's bad. Main girl is an annoying, dumb brat that flip-flops on Frank all the time. Billy Russo is supposed to have a smashed-out face, but turns out to have a few scratches. He is no ugly monster. Main bad guy can't say a single sentence without referencing some religious stuff, which talks like some incel mong. Speaking of the glass stuff, I've always had problems with that in film. Okay, if you bust through a window of glass, you are going to be shredded to hell. But in the movies and the TV shows of anything, people can literally punch glass windows, car windows that can jump through them, walk on it, and they're just good and fine and dandy. But in reality, you would be shredded to hell. I wish somebody would do a realistic scene of Die Hard where he busts through the skyscraper glass, and then he just lays there and bleeds out, because that's what would really happen. But anyway, just some little small nitpicking on my end there. So, no spoilers. Punisher Season 2 was written by libs away from the comic crap, just like the Jessica Jones Deplorable Season 2. See, I didn't watch Season 2 of Jessica Jones, but I do hear it's pretty NPC, which is a shame, because I gotta tell you, Season 1 of Jessica Jones was actually a solid show. I really liked it. And a lot of it has to do with it having a good villain, which a lot of these Marvel shows just don't do. So 99% of the women never die. Fell off the 3rd floor, choke. No, they are above that. 99% of black people are good. Only Republicans are evil. They prey on children because of photos. The Russians want to blackmail the rich farmer from the countryside. The farmer of the father of a gay senator. The Russians want to control only Republicans. Same narrative as the news. You guessed right. In their narrative, a Christian is always the bad guy. And in one episode of The Punisher, crying about killing 3 women, complete waste of time. All gazillion references to R.A., you know the rest, all the time. Implosion of a pain fetishist couple doing sex and being evil. Do you have to have a fetish when you do sex? So yeah, it sounds pretty terrible. Not a very well-written review here, though, man. You got some broken English, buddy. But this kind of just confirms what we were thinking, right? So here's where things get interesting, and this has more to do with the Netflix cancellations all themselves. And I like how Bounding into Comics labels this the snap that got it all canceled. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. We got the Disney streaming service coming, which is getting its own Marvel shows, and guess what? Those shows are without a doubt in canon with the MCU, considering we've got a Bucky and Sam Wilson show coming. We have a Scarlet Witch and Vision show, I think, coming, or is it just Scarlet Witch? I'm not sure. It's either just Scarlet Witch or Scarlet and the Vision. I would love to see Scarlet Witch and the Vision in their own show. The characters, just from watching Infinity War, had great chemistry. The scenes with those two together were great. I would love to see that show, to be honest. I really would. But there's a lot of stuff going on with Kevin Feige and Jeff Loeb. Marvel Entertainment, Marvel Studios. You know, Marvel Studios used to report to Marvel Entertainment. That ain't a case anymore. And that's because Kevin Feige went and complained to Disney and got them separated. So we can go here and we can go over this a little bit. I think they wrote this up very nicely. Given Daredevil's alleged high viewership, it's possible Netflix might be taking an axe to their Marvel licensed properties because of the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service that will feature its own Marvel television shows. In fact, these Marvel television shows will be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe like we were talking about. The Netflix shows were supposed to be attached to the MCU, but the relationship never really flourished, with the Netflix shows barely mentioning the events in the film, and the films don't even discuss the shows at all. And that's a problem that a lot of people have brought up, that they don't really seem like they go together. It's like there's no impact between the movies and the shows. Except for S.H.I.E.L.D., which had that. The reason for that could be the frayed relationship between Marvel TV and Marvel Studios. There has always been numerous reports regarding Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige's creative differences, when it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One source described it as several years of frustration. Those differences came to a head when Feige arranged a reorganization of the film studio, where he would report directly to Disney chief Alan Horn instead of Marvel Entertainment's Ike Perlmutter. So that was actually covered a long time ago. I think a lot of people have forgotten that they've kind of split off. Marvel Studios is its own thing. And that's a point I always like to stress to the comic people that, that come around, and when we talk about comics and how bad comics are doing, And I've stressed the point 100,000 times of that they don't need Marvel Entertainment. Marvel Studios is the profitable branch, right? That's the branch that makes them money. And Marvel Comics, Marvel Entertainment, which when you go to YouTube and you see all those wonderful cooking with the Marvel Universe crap, that's their own branch, which the TV shows fell under. Marvel Entertainment, Marvel Film, or Marvel TV, whatever it's called. That's all under that branch. Marvel Studios is its own thing. They don't need Marvel Comics to go on. And I don't see it far-fetched that Disney brings the TV shows back under the MCU brand and just cuts off Marvel Entertainment, which would be bad and good, right? Like, I think, we might finally see some changes in some of these toxic comic pros, but maybe we get some better products as well. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know how you're feeling about Punisher Season 2. Was it that NPC? I'd like to hear from somebody that actually watched it. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about this show's viewing being down? Do you think it's because it was NPC or pushed, or do you just think it was how the cards fell? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.